have.
Well, it could be magic.
It's disappeared.
Gone in a puff of smoke.
Gone. Okay. We've got 3 games to look at this week. Always look at the Thursday night game, and that's the Broncos Sharks. Cal?
Yes. Stats?
Tell us who we should be backing through your stats.
I like the Broncos this week. Having said that, the favourites have won 6 of the last 10 between these two. Broncos have won 7 of the last 10, and by reasonably convincing margins too. The over-under, the total was split 5 apiece in the last 10. The average total scored in the last 10, touch under 43 points, 42.9. And if you give me a second, the total was set at 41.5. So the total was under what the average has been in the last 10 matches.
Blake, who do you like?
I'm sort of look. I'm going to go the Sharks, but I do like the Broncos. The problem for me, I think, is Tyson Gamble. Good footy player, but for me, I think Tamati Martin at 6, and then bring maybe a Cobbo or Tessie New if he's back from injury, or a Cobbo probably just back at fullback. And they have enough players out there that can play wing. I know they got Jordan Pereira from the Dragons and that who can play there as well. I just think Gamble was good last year when you needed energy in a wooden spoon side. But now you've got the team rolling. I think you just need a bit more flair. So if they had another 6, Martin at 6, I'd probably take the Broncos. But I think the Sharks win a very close game.
Surly, you also going with the Sharks?
Yeah, to be fair, when I was looking at the team on Tuesday morning, looking at the draw, I was quite keen on the Broncos just because I thought they looked good on the weekend. But then I saw Dale Finucane back for the Sharks, and I think that's just huge for them. I also saw Wade Graham on the extended bench. Like, if he's a shot to play, then I think he's another big boost. So that Sharks team's just quality all over the park, and I think they will be too strong, although with Adam Reynolds in your side, you're always a shot. But looking forward, we spoke about it before, but the battle of the centres, even Herbie Farnworth, he's a great player, Jesse Ramian. So it's going to be great matchups all across the park, but I think the Sharks will just be too good.
I feel like the Sharks, like they put in that massive performance last week. But the second half, Manly came back and scored 22 points on them pretty easily. They were up. The Sharkies were up for that Storm game. They put in a massive performance. Like, is it starting to catch up on them?
First of all, I think the Sea Eagles are a much better team than the Broncos.
Yes.
There was also a strong wind in that game last week where the Sharks had it in the first half and they made full use of it. And then I guess you can sort of take your foot off the pedal slightly. The Storm didn't, but you can. And the Sharks took their foot off the pedal slightly, and then the Sea Eagles had that wind.
Every time, mate.
I know, I'm not.
Hey, we're moving on. We're moving on.
No, we're moving on. And I think where it really counts is in the coaching box. And I think Fitzgibbon is a much better coach than Walters. So I think the direction that the Sharks are getting will be a lot clearer than what the Broncos are getting. So I do like the Sharks as well. Next game, obviously the Warriors game up against the Raiders on, Saturday afternoon up at Redcliffe. Warriors slight outsiders this weekend. And the Raiders, the money has come for the Raiders. I had a look at the book just before we started the podcast, and between 60 and 65% of the turnover in that head-to-head book was on the Raiders. So
majority of my stats say Raiders here. Not this one, though. We talked about it before. Warriors have won 3 straight after conceding 50 or more, or losing by 50 or more. In this fixture, though, the favourites have won 7 of the last 10. The Raiders have won 6 of the last 10. The under has hit in 6 of the last 10 and 3 of the last 4. The average total being just a touch over 43. And the average total scored in those 10 games, also just a touch over 43. Total points.
It's early. heard the stats. Obviously, the Raiders are a big chance of winning, so your money is going green this weekend.
Not unless we're wearing more green than usual. Redemption game for me, but yeah, I think the game's going to be one in the middle. I have been fairly impressed with that Raiders pack. Different players each week seem to be putting their hand up. I thought old Tapane's been outstanding, and he's definitely one we're going to have to shut down. And I think they get Horsburgh back this week as well. So that Canberra pack does impress me, but I don't think that their backline has been firing like it usually does. And hopefully we'll have enough to go with them through the middle there. So I'm obviously backing the boys to pull off the victory at home in Redcliffe. And yeah, hopefully she's a fresh start for the lads and everything will be back on the rise.
Blake, what are you doing?
Look, yes, earlier you just mentioned the battle of the front rowers. This is going to be huge. Lodge and Adam Fanua, Blake versus Tapane and Papali'i. Oh, Papali, sorry. Like it's going to be big, and I think that could be where it's won. But you also mentioned the backs, and I've seen Jared Croker on that extended bench, so if he sneaks in, that might give them the nod. Look, I was going Raiders until I heard all the stats on the Warriors. For me, it was a coin toss game at the start, but I'm going to go towards the Warriors this one. Close win.
Right. Raiders have lost all their away games this year so far.
Thank you.
Away from home.
Oh, there's a good stat.
So there we go. I'm going to Warriors too. I think they bounce back.
I agree. The battle up front is going to be huge. I see the Raiders have got Rapana listed as fullback. It wouldn't surprise me to see Xavier Savage actually go back there and Rapana go to the wing. I don't know what I think Sticky's in a desperate situation here. But talk about coaches under pressure. He's another one who's under pressure, and I think he's trying a few things. And it wouldn't surprise me to see that back line sort of reshuffled, possibly even Croker come straight into the starting lineup in place of someone like Xavier Savage. So I'm sort of leaning towards the Raiders just because your stats said that I should.
What about Ben Murdoch-Masila, named on the extended bench?
Why is he not on?
I feel like he's someone you just bring straight back in. You don't mess around with, playing these silly games.
He's one guy that can come on and give them that burst of energy.
Also, just big body, experience.
He puts fear into oppositions, I reckon, just seeing his name on the team sheet. Like, he's not someone I'd want to put my body in front of. So I'd love to see him in the mix, especially, obviously, we lose Josh Curran, who's a quality footballer, but someone like Big Ben can cause havoc on his day. So we're going to need that.
Where else? Oh, last game. Well, I was sort of tossing up which game to have a look at. Do we have a look at the Eels Cowboys? But I thought the two teams that they're outside the 8, but they both had upset wins last weekend. The Tigers have put 2 on the trot. So we're going to have a look at the Dragons and Tigers. So Blake, you can lead us off here.
I know big question marks around Jack Bird. I think back to this game last year when that kid Zach Sini scored the try, the Tigers won, and all his mates were in the grandstand, and and then it ended up being a sort of thing where Madge on those Tiger towels said, "We beat the Dragons last week, and you all thought you were all shit. The big, you thought you were good." So I think like they're going to come out and I've already said the big call. I think they do win by it's a close game, Tigers. I think they're just on that roll at the moment. And you spoke about Jackson Hastings' touches. I think it's opened up Brooks, playing a lot better footy, and Tuolangi's back in the back row, which is him and Luciano. Very good.
Shirley, how are you seeing this play out?
Yeah, I'm all aboard the Tigers Express here as well. To be fair, like while the Dragons did win last weekend, I think that the Roosters should have got over them at the end there. And I just like the way the Tigers are playing at the moment. They're starting to get some confidence. And I think this will be another game where they get in the arm wrestle and they'll be too good. I saw Kalma Tuolangi's back as well. I reckon he's a great footballer for them. So that's another good addition. And I don't think Bird will play for the Dragons. I saw he was named, but looked like a pretty serious injury. So I can't see that happening. So yeah, I'll go the Tigers in a close one, and I'll be having them in my multi again.
Don't do it,
Yes.
Carl.
I guess that's why Jock Madden is going to be the one that slots the field goal to win this one, Blake.
Yeah. Don't.
Tigers, baby.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, the
Tigers.
stats.
Tigers have won 4 straight, 5 of the last 6, and 6 of the last 10 against the
Wow.
Dragons. 4 of the last 6. Here's one for you, Blake. 4 of the last 6 have been won by the outsider.
Beauty.
Tigers outsiders this week. 10 of the last 15 have gone under the total. The average total has been set to about just over 42 in those 15s, and the actual score average 40. 7 of the last 10 have been under that 40, that 39. So what are they at this week? I think we want to be on the unders, boys. I was having a look before.
38 and a half.
38 and a half. Maybe, sorry, we want to be on the overs because it's so low.
Right.
There we go. But I like the Tigers. I really do.
So
I think the Dragons suck.
we've got a Tiger convoy here because I'm jumping on the bandwagon as well. I've really enjoyed the way the Tigers have played the last couple of weeks. I'm sort of happy to see the sort of pressure come off Madge as well. And have a look at the injuries that they've got over those last couple of weeks. The players that they're missing, they've done a monster job against 2 contenders. So yeah, I'm on the Tigers as well. I see no reason why they don't win again.
Is this the first pick and go curse for the season?
Oh gee, I hope not. I hope that's not the case. I don't think we can do it. I don't think we can. There's just too much good energy flowing around Leichhardt
I think so. I might have to dig out my Tigers.
Campbelltown.
Tigers top for next week.